We're just going in. So here's your spoiler warning. We're going in, everybody. Black Widow spoiler review. The time has come. I'm excited. Let's do this.
I could sum everything up for myself in 2 minutes or less.
Same.
I'm just kidding. No.
I'm worried now that I'm the only person that really enjoyed this movie.
No, we'll get into it. I actually enjoyed it a lot. Is the thing, but
I need to watch it one more time.
Same.
My wife really liked it. Wave really liked it too. So we're gonna watch it again probably this weekend. But yeah, let me throw this up, guys. We're going Black Widow.
Maybe
Man, what a cast. Sorry we didn't include the mom in this picture.
Yeah,
what
I think
the heck,
I'm kind of curious on your guys' thoughts on like the individual characters, I guess, and then where the story ended up going. Because I think this movie was a lot about character development in general. Like they wanted to add more to Black Widow's story, and they wanted to add more to these characters that we're going to see more often. And I think that's what a lot of this movie was about. So I feel like kind of talking about the characters, we'll get a good sense as to how much we like the movie, because I think that's a lot of it. And spoiler alert, no one died. So we're going to see all of these characters at some point in the MCU going forward, Actually, no, never mind. Someone did die. Someone did die. Black Widow died in Endgame. So
No, but
that's one character.
what was his name?
Dreykov's daughter.
Yeah, okay. Dreykov's daughter, though, lived. So we'll probably see her again.
Yeah. Okay,
whole other thing.
Let's start out with the opening. It Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. Let's friggin' go. Let's go, guys.
I don't know why I didn't like that, though.
Terrible rendition of that song.
No,
terrible cover.
I think it's really good.
Awful.
I think it's really good.
I think it is all right, I guess. Like I don't know if it really fit that well, but personally, that's just me.
Don't forget to find the Black Widow playlist. Hold up.
It's a Nirvana song, and Nirvana sang it perfectly, and they honestly ruined the song. You can't sing it better than Nirvana. That's how I feel. So that's how I feel with this whole movie, and we'll get into it.
Dang.
Dang.
Might have to give Jake the yeet better.
We're gonna.
But yeah, I like the opening song. I thought it was pretty good. I liked how it was kind of slower. I felt like it set the tone. Let's talk a little bit about the story plot. I mean, I felt like something it could have done was get a little bit more into Natasha's backstory, like even more as a kid, or even more as a kid, like growing up and like her training in the Red Room, but they kind of glossed over that, and then they really glossed over like early adulthood. But yeah, basically, I mean, the plot is centered around her trying to again face this villain that she thought that she had killed before, and she doesn't want all these what is it, like thousands of girls or whatever around the world to like suffer the same things that she did, and like continue to have like this uprising, which in a sense is, I don't know, you could argue was a little bit sloppy, because it did feel like just another Hydra almost. But yeah, guys, Jake, I know you want to get something out, so go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I'll just wait until the end when you ask me about my general consensus.
I mean, the story is not without problems.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems in this movie.
But Jake,
it wasn't even Black Widow's movie to me, bro. Like it really wasn't. It was her sister, whatever her name is. Like she was definitely like
Yelena. I've been hearing that.
Yeah, it was like how she started off and okay, some sort of powder grenade makes them have morals, although they've been murdering people their whole lives supposedly, but now they're really great people.
No, they were under mind control, which is interesting because Natasha wasn't under mind control when she was in the Red Room when she was younger. The mind control thing is something that's a little bit newer. Yeah.
Yeah, so they murdered people willingly when they were younger, and now they're great people from this magical perfume.
Well, before, really to be fair, they weren't mind controlled, but they were manipulated, and that's so true. It was mind control without the drugs, basically. But yeah.
So I didn't appreciate that. I did appreciate the fact that it honestly just made it seem like Black Widow was a terrible person. Like, she didn't check in on her sister. She was like a celebrity having a great time with her friends and like did not care about her sister, what was going on with her.
Sometimes you gotta do your own thing, bro.
Hitting superhero landings.
Yeah, that was hilarious. There was a couple of really funny parts, but
the red carpet.
But yeah, I don't know. I just think it painted Black Widow kind of in a bad light. I did not think it was a good send off in general. But that's just me, I guess. If I had to rate the movie, I'd probably give it like a 6 out of 10.
Well, no one asked you for a rating yet, so hold
up.
Listen,
I'm trying to get you to your
like, listen, so. And on that note, I'm out.
Yeah, see you guys.
Drops.
No, I don't know. I definitely hear everything that you're saying. Yeah, we'll come back to me, Nick.
Sorry, I'm just listening to Smells Like Teen Spirit cover right now, and it's making me enjoy the movie even more.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was a movie. It came out too late. I think Florence Pugh and David Harbour completely stole the show and really nailed their parts. I think I just I feel like it was really more about, I feel like they had to change stuff since the movie came out so late to be able to fit in now. And I feel like that's kind of unfortunate because I agree with all this. Like, it doesn't really feel like it was Scarlett Johansson's movie, like really a Black Widow movie. It was kind of more setting up maybe for future events. But I didn't not enjoy the movie. I just was like, yeah, it was a good movie. That was pretty much how I walked away from it. Like, it wasn't bad, and the acting was really good, like on everybody's part. But that's just kind of how I felt. Just kind of like a just a movie.
I'll toss it over to Ethan, but 1 second. I had heard that because I had watched a couple non-spoiler reviews before I watched the movie, and I had heard that from multiple people. Like, yeah, Florence Pugh stole the show and everything, and I think that she really shined. But I was waiting for that moment where she stole the show. And I'm sorry, I never felt that way. Not a single time. Everything always went back to Natasha. Like, Florence Pugh, her scenes, they all still went back to Natasha. Like, it just, I don't know. I just never felt that way. And the only other thing that I might say is that Natasha isn't the only Black Widow. And right. So I also looked at it from that angle a little bit too, but more so as the movie wrapped up because Yelena will most likely she might go by Black Widow going forward, possibly. She might take on that name, especially with the end credit scene that we get to. But yeah, I don't know. I never felt that way. I definitely thought that Florence Pugh and David Harbour, they really shined. I thought they were amazing, but I also thought Scarlett Johansson was amazing, and like I still felt like it was her movie. Ethan,
I just really enjoyed it in general. Like I do think, I don't know. I think the way they went at explaining like Natasha's like the Black Widow story in general, like I think they did a really good job at it, and I think they're just trying to add another layer to the MCU that they can kind of go back on. But I just really enjoyed, like, yeah, I think Florence Pugh yelling out, like, I thought she was insane. I think she's a great actress, like, in general. Um, and so I hadn't seen her in like a role like this before, so I thought it was really cool to see that, and I thought she did really good. Um, but yeah, I David Harbour also did really good, I think, and the mother I thought was good too. Like I think they all kind of serve their purpose, um, and all the characters that like were promising in this movie. I'm glad that we're gonna see them again in the MCU at some point because I think that will be really interesting. And I think seeing how these very different characters bounce off others will be like fun to see. Like David Harbour, like um, Red Guardian, just talking about like his past with Captain America, or like some of the funniest scenes, and like Yelena just talking random stuff about like Black Widow being like famous and all this stuff. Like that was hilarious. And I think they all acted their roles really well. And so I'm excited to see how that goes going forward. But I just enjoyed the movie. I do think there's only one part that I thought was weird, and I don't know if we want to talk about it yet. It's just um, Taskmaster's involvement in this movie was much less than we originally thought. Like Taskmaster was the big bad like in this movie, and although they were like the muscle and like the assassin or whatever that they fought, they didn't fight Taskmaster that much like at all. Um, Also, though, I think Taskmaster's design actually looked really cool, like throughout the movie. Like, I think some people were kind of skeptical about it at first, like through trailers. But I think the more we saw of it, it made a lot more sense as like a movie rendition of anything else we've seen him in. Also, not him. That's a whole other thing that I thought was actually kind of I was kind of thought was going to happen. Taskmaster's actually what's Dracoff? Is that the guy? Dracov's daughter, which I didn't expect the daughter part, but I did think they were going to make Taskmaster female. Um, and I don't know, it's just how bulky they made the suit. I just had a feeling that it was going to be a girl, and so yeah. But I do hope we see Taskmaster. They ended Taskmaster off on a weird note, but I really want to see an evil Taskmaster in the future that's like doesn't care at all. Like that's what I really want. So that's the only thing I wasn't really crazy about in this movie is I want to see Taskmaster in the future as a villain, and the way it is right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be. So it'll have to be like a different version or something. But yeah, I'm besides that, I thought all the characters were really good and it made sense, and I'm excited to see them going forward. And yeah, I thought it wasn't a bad story. Like I think it explained a good amount, and I think they're like just how complicated and disorganized like their quote unquote family was like makes a lot of sense. But it also makes a lot of sense as to why Natasha was so like felt such a connection with like the Avengers and all that. Like it legitimately made sense when you look back at it, considering that her family was literally just built on them being like spies. And so that going to literally a family that's like almost pure business like makes a lot of sense when it's just like them fighting and stuff. So I think it works out really well, and I think they also set everyone else up to be in the MCU more, to be honest. So
Yeah, I echo basically everything that you said. I thought the family dynamics worked really well. I thought the humor worked really well. I mean, there was a lot of really funny moments, and there was a lot of really heartfelt moments. I felt like too, and again, David Harbour shined with that as well. And I liked the American Pie scene, and that call back to the beginning. And I actually almost forgot to mention this. I gotta mention this really quick because I just brought out in our Loki review. Like I really look for those emotional scenes, and like I wait for that like just like a feeling, like for the movie to really affect me. And I actually think that like the strongest moment was the intro. I mean, I felt like right out of the gate, like I felt it was extremely suspenseful, and like when the whole plane scene, like, would you guys agree with that? Um, no, no, Jake. Okay. Um,
I
well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, real quick. Um, what really got me, and this came as a big surprise too, and like I was almost like I felt like moved, like I was almost about to cry at one point, which it was really surprising because it wasn't like super sad, but it was just like this really weird situation where where Natasha is needing to help out her mom because her mom has been shot and she needs to like take the wheel and help control. And then Red Guardian's like on the wing and he's trying to fire. And you see like it's that theme like pain makes you stronger, but you see that she is scared, even though she's trying not to be scared. And I think I'm getting kind of deep right here and nerdy at the same time, guys. So sorry, not sorry. Um, I mean, kids, especially nowadays, and I think maybe some of us too, like sometimes you're like forced to grow up really fast. And so I just felt like they captured in that moment a child who was forced to grow up fast and like just like from the most unfair circumstances to where it just like really hit home for me. Um, I didn't cry, but I definitely felt like, wow, I almost could cry right now because like I just like really felt for Natasha in that moment, and I thought that it was a great scene and a testament of like a really good intro. And again, overall, I enjoyed the movie, but yeah, that opening scene I thought was like crazy good. Did either of you want to any of you guys want to touch on that?
I mean, I was gonna say, I feel like this movie would have had a lot more intensity and been a lot more impactful if it came out in chronological order. Like if it came out, right after Civil War, like there would be a lot more like intensity for me, where I'd be like, okay, like someone's gonna like she might die, like something might happen, but we all know Natasha makes it to the end. She dies in Endgame, so I just felt like the air got taken out of this movie because of the timing of when it came out. But for me, I would say like the one of the saddest scenes for me was when they were at the dinner table, and I'm spacing on her name, but the sister is like breaking down, and
Yelena.
she's Elena, yeah, and she's like breaking down, and like I felt the worst for her because she was almost like an innocent, like she hadn't been to the Red Room yet, like when she was super young in that opening scene, like you were talking about, so she didn't like hasn't been to the Red Room yet or nothing, and then like she like had to find out her whole like childhood was a lie, and that was probably the most impactful scene for me in the movie for sure.
So there were some things that you did like.
Yeah, I would have liked this movie a lot more if it came out chronologically, but yeah, there were some things I did enjoy throughout the movie for sure. I was hating on it, but it was it was a decent movie. It was nowhere near Winter Soldier status as like a spy action thriller movie for me personally, but it's watchable for sure. Like it's an enjoyable watch if you kind of just don't think about everything else that's happened in the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel doesn't really like they don't really fail. It's just like some stuff is definitely more like top tier MCU films, and then like
S
Mm-hmm.
tier.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Nick, anything you want to touch on here with any of the characters or plot points?
Hmm. I mean, unfortunately, not really.
Okay,
It was
Ethan.
it was just a movie.
It was just a
Oh,
movie. That's how I
you
feel like a
didn't.
lot of people feel.
I, I mean,
I
like,
mean, guys. To be fair, too, we knew what the timeline was, and we still watched it anyways.
I know.
I spent the $30 on Disney Plus.
Yeah, we still spent that sweet, sweet
and
money.
and then on the other hand, I mean, yeah, they should have given Scarlett Johansson a film like right after Iron Man 2 or whatever, like way back then.
Yeah.
Um, so that's weird, and I totally agree. Like they kind of dropped the ball there for sure. Um, And so I think it's kind of like that weird timing because they're probably obliged to give her a film because like, oh well, we never gave her a film, but everyone really likes her, so
I get it now.
let's do it in this weird time frame.
I think
Yeah,
I
it
get
was
it
really weird.
now. I think they would have not released the movie if Disney Plus just didn't happen. And here's why I say that is because now on Disney Plus, you can watch they have a section where you can watch every movie in chronological order, which is super cool. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so they released this movie. They're like, forget it. We'll release the movie, then people can, go and literally watch this thing in chronological order all the way up to phase 4. Um, so it's like that. I guess thinking about it that way, it's like, okay, this makes sense. Um, but in reality, it came out way too late right now. But like, if you were to start that, it probably the experience would be better if you just saw Civil War, then went into Black Widow, and then kept going. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I think now it makes more sense. But I guess at this point, now we're moving into phase 4. We're getting into the multiverse. We're probably gonna get Black Widow, like Scarlett Johansson's probably gonna be okay in another universe. So it's kind of
Yeah,
like
I think that she will come back at some point.
yeah, so it's kind of like, well, everything in this movie, I guess, doesn't. You think about Endgame, she's dead, but now we have the multiverse on the horizon, and it's like she's probably going to come back, and she'll be fine. So everything in this movie right now, it's just kind of weird, and it's like doesn't really matter in the. I mean, it matters, but like it doesn't really matter because she's probably going to come back. So, but again, I think it's just a good movie. That's it.
We haven't talked about the end credit scene. I wanted to ask you guys: do you guys think the end credit scene would have been more impactful if it came out before Falcon and Winter Soldier, and everyone would have been theorizing about who this person is, versus, we know who she was from Falcon and Winter Soldier, and she even said her name in it.
Maybe, but I
And
really
you know what I'm
liked
saying?
how the reveal was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I really like that.
Yeah, me too.
How you just kind of like hear her walking up and like slowly pans up. I thought that was good. So I don't know. Maybe.
Just food for thought.
Um,
I liked her. I liked the way it ended up, because I think it just goes along with the whole like Thunderbolts idea or like Dark Avengers idea right now, and I liked that. I would just like the way it worked out, because I think if we had this like Yelena thing first, we would have gotten a different impression of what this character's job is. Because in Winter Soldier, it's like she's trying to make a team, but in this, it's like she's literally just hiring her as like a mercenary or something
Mhm.
like that, or like a hitman, you know. And so I think it's two very different sides, and I think kind of seeing her try to get John Walker first kind of shows what she has in store for Yelena, and I think people are more interested in her already than they were in John Walker in a way. So I like the way it turned out because I think it just shows the intentions a bit better because that's not what her intentions are. I don't remember her name exactly, but her intention is to make a team, it seems, as to like a government, like kind of like Avengers in a way.
Mhm.
While, um, Ross, right, is, yeah, John Ross, well, he's like going into like sickness. That's a whole other thing that we didn't talk about is he's getting like sick, which we might see him just go full Red Hulk to counteract that. Who knows? But also, it's like,
that'd be really cool.
this new character, I think I've heard a lot of stuff as to she's kind of taking on the role of General Ross in a way of trying to deal with the Avengers, but she has like her own way of doing it. And I think, in the post credit scene, we know that's going to go straight into the Hawkeye show. Like, if you guys don't remember it, she literally gave her an assignment to go take out Hawkeye, and that's just going to go straight into the Hawkeye show. And I think that'll be perfect. I've heard some rumors that they think Hawkeye might, if they come to an agreement, Hawkeye might end up on this new team because he was in the team in the comics and he's kind of an anti-hero at the moment with like the Ronin thing. So who knows? But I do think, I don't know. I think it worked out really well the way it happened, and yeah, I think we'll see her, and I don't think it'll be Dark Avengers. I think it'll be like Thunderbolts or something like that, kind of storyline in a way, and because I don't think it's a bad. They have bad intentions. I just think it's like a garment intention kind of deal. So
I agree. I think we can wrap up with the review here pretty soon. I did want to go back to Taskmaster for a second. Ben Kenobi, what's up, man?
Yeah, what's up, little bro? That's my bro, Ben.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
hello
Nice,
there.
dude.
What's up?
Hello there. Yeah, that's him.
Awesome. Good to have you here with us. I did want to jump back to Taskmaster for just a second. I think the character is pretty cool. I think it really for the most part fell flat in this film. Like, it wasn't done justice, the character of Taskmaster. And I've been seeing like a lot of people are saying it was because she was a girl. It was 100% not because she was a girl. It was because you cared only so much. Like, you cared only this much, and you should have cared way more about Taskmaster, because like Ethan said, they made Taskmaster out to be the big bad and just like this huge threat. And you only felt that ever so slightly a couple times, because we really didn't get a whole lot of screen time with Taskmaster. So, I mean, again, I cared a little bit, and I cared about like the daughter, but I should have cared a whole lot more. And I would have probably if they had given her more screen time, but it really had nothing to do with her being a woman. Like, that didn't matter. Like, her scenes were pretty awesome. It just wasn't enough. And I also think that the movie could have benefited from a little bit more time too, or possibly a little bit better time management as well. And I actually think I would have liked to sacrifice a little bit of time with her dad and add in more time with Taskmaster.
Yeah.
But yeah, were you gonna say something, Ethan?
Okay, here's the thing. They tried pulling like a Winter Soldier thing with Taskmaster, like right off the bat. Like the first intro we get of Taskmaster is literally like the Howard Stark intro, in which they just like completely like decimate like a car and is about to like take out Natasha. But the thing is, no, it's not because she's a woman. It's because Taskmaster is all about fighting, and they did not do enough fighting. And on top of that, they did not do. Tarkov was never mentioned or like really shown as a villain in the trailer. And
Yeah.
Taskmaster in the past can be his own villain. He doesn't need any organization to him at all. He never had one. He was just a villain. Like he fought Spider-Man for his own reasons. He always had his own, reasoning to it. He was never someone's muscle, And so I think Taskmaster is a really cool idea and all that, but that's the thing that I don't like, is that Taskmaster is a really cool idea and they could have done a lot with him. You could have made him a Spider-Man villain.
Or her. Like, it could have still stayed.
It could have stayed her too. There's no issue with that. But now they're good, and like, I don't know, it's just out. It's like now they're good, but they also didn't get enough time to like be Taskmaster in the movie. Like, I feel like they equally had enough time just like standing still, like while Tarkov talked, to the same amount of time that she was fighting. Like, we didn't get that much fighting. Like, we barely saw Taskmaster and Red Guardian fight. And I thought that, and also rip the shield, like what, he should have kept that thing. But yeah, it's just like, it's just missed opportunity, I feel, with it at the moment. And it's because a lot of people don't. Taskmaster, I guess, is one of those random villains, right? But he doesn't feel that way to a lot of people because he's been made a bigger threat, like in game. Like if you've seen Spider-Man games, Taskmaster is such a cool character, like, and he just like makes so much sense, especially like when you're taking on like just very skilled fighters. Like he's such a good villain. You could put him up against half the people in the MCU, and it would be a good fight. Like that's why it's so cool, and it's just kind of a missed opportunity at the moment, and which is why I want them to do more with Taskmaster in the future. But right now they left that like an evil Taskmaster or like an anti-hero, they've left that very close-ended. So unless Taskmaster ends up with like Yelena and does like a Thunderbolts thing, I don't think we're gonna see Taskmaster fighting heroes for until they set something up. And yeah, that's my only gripe with Taskmaster. But that's the other thing too, is this fight scenes that we did get were awesome. Like they looked really cool and they were good, which is why I wish we got more of them, because Taskmaster is all about the fighting, and so that's why I wish we got more of that when it came to Taskmaster. But
because it's just so awesome how Taskmaster can mimic like anyone's fighting style, and I think it would have been really cool to see Yelena and Natasha go up against her at the end and kind of have like a similar battle where it was like Iron Man against Cap and Bucky at the end of Civil War, but then Taskmaster is just like constantly like cycling through some of the Avengers different fight styles, which we did see a little bit, but just again not enough. But yeah, hopefully, like Ethan was saying earlier, like we could still see Taskmaster, and it would still be cool to see Taskmaster as a villain.
I kept thinking that after they beat up Taskmaster, or like didn't beat up, even like after they like did the gas thing on Taskmaster, I thought Taskmaster was still gonna like go and like shoot one of them, or like with a bow or something, like just to like keep the story going a bit. But no, like Taskmaster was just like, yeah, I hated my dad, and then like kind of moved on with the story, and so now they're like all good now. So
I guess
it's just,
Black Widow
it's just
blew her
close-ended.
I got to get this from Ben Kenobi. How do I donate? Really appreciate the question. We get this every once in a while. Right now, we don't have donations set up, but we would really appreciate it if you would share our show, like the link or whatever, on Facebook or Instagram. Let others know about it, and of course, subscribe and like the videos. That all helps. Oh, also, downloading some of our, like, it's free, especially if you have Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Downloading some of our episodes on the podcast feed, that helps us out too, leaving us a good review. So don't worry about the donations, but if you can help in some of those ways, that's amazing, and we appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
To end it on a positive note, for me, like I did think it was a really awesome scene where Natasha is going up against all the girls from the Red Room, and to see her kind of like, I don't know, I just look at it from like just like this psychological aspect too, and just like thinking about how like she's like forced to go up against them, even though this is something that she's trying to stop, and even though she's on their side, but she definitely like can hold her own. And to see her use like the wrist like laser thing was pretty cool. And I think
they
a callback,
changed the animation on it too.
I think that's
like
a callback to like her in like the original comics as well, I think.
Well, she had that in Age of Ultron and Avengers, but they made it red.
Good.
for some.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, I think we're pretty much wrapped up here. Of course, the ending with the mid-credit scene, or post-credit scene, however you want to see it, will definitely lead into Hawkeye series and could have some promise there for the rest of Phase 4. With hopefully, we're thinking the Thunderbolts. That could be really awesome. So
I'm really surprised you didn't point out the terrible CGI. You're all about CGI, Dom, and the
I'm not
visuals.
all about it.
I mean,
I like practical effects, actually. Oh, you know what? Let me throw this up. I thought it was really good.
Okay, but I mean, that tiny head on that man's body. Come on.
I don't know what part you're talking about.
When they showed Taskmaster take off her helmet, and then they showed that side profile of her with like a big suit of armor, basically, and she has like a small head. I just figured you'd bring that up.
Well, that's what I was saying. Is the suit was just so bulky. I don't think it was CGI. I know
Again, they didn't even give her a lot of screen time that I just didn't pay attention to it.
Yeah, I mean, you pointed out the desert in Loki, my man. So I just figured that this would stand out big time.
I know, but let's focus on this. I thought this was an awesome scene, actually, and I felt like this could have been a bad scene, but I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I think we can wrap things up, guys. Some of us liked it more than others, but I think we can all agree that, Marvel still puts out some good stuff.
It's definitely not bad stuff.
Yeah. So I'm going, at the moment, I'm going 7 out of 10. Nick?
I'm going to go out of 5. I'm just going to do 3 out of 5. Like, it was just a good movie. Above average, but like a 6 out of 10.
I was going to say, so you're a 6 out of 10. Yeah, I'd give it the same. I'd give it the same as Nick, like a 6. 5.5 out of, and 6 out of 10, wow. Probably.
But mine is like an easy 6, okay? Jake's version is like a hard 6. Like there's a big criticisms right there, and mine's like the easy 6 where I'm just like, yeah, it's a good movie.
Ethan.
Okay, look, I thought it was good. I loved the acting. I thought the acting wasn't bad. Like I thought the acting was really good. And if I would have given like, I'm thinking like, the acting was really good, but the story, was like kind of just because like, I don't know, it wasn't like a crazy, new or whatever, like groundbreaking. But I don't know, I enjoyed it. They set up some characters that I'm really happy to see going forward. I thought Florence Pugh is a great actress. She did really good. Same with David Harbour. He's a great actor. And so I enjoyed it. But yeah, I think it's just a Marvel movie. Like I'm not gonna say it's groundbreaking, but I'm not gonna say it's bad either. But I got a lot of enjoyment out of it, so I'm gonna give it like 7.5. I think is like where I'm at right now. Just because.
That's reasonable. That's just.
I think it all made sense as a Black Widow story, but I'm just a little disappointed with Taskmaster because I really love the character. Not because it's a woman, just because they shut the door on Taskmaster for now. Like the door's just shut. And that's my issue with it. And,
I mean, it appears to be, hopefully not, but
I think they're going to pull an Ultron with it. And like they've done that with Marvel, and I thought they learned after not to do that with any characters. And I don't think they completely do it, but I'm sure we will. It's probably not going to be in the capacity that I would like to see Taskmaster, and that's my only thing with it. So, but I've had the same issue with Marvel in general. Same thing goes for Ultron. I'm still dead inside about that. So it's going to be like that. But I thought besides that, it was a good movie. Like I enjoyed it. I had fun going to the theater. It was nice. So
maybe oh, that's cool. You got to see it in theater. Maybe
Cynical 3, baby.
Sweet. Maybe someone else will end up getting the suit. So that might be cool. That might be cool.
Maybe there was a Taskmaster like before this Taskmaster. It was like the real Taskmaster, like the OG
That didn't need
Taskmaster.
tech. That
Mandarin.
Yeah, there you go, like Mandarin. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, hoping for the best. I think that's gonna do it for our Black Widow spoiler review. That was good, guys.